We gotta get adjusted here. Hello, hello, welcome in. Congrats on first. I hit the button a little too early. So now I'm kind of rushing to get stuff ready. I forgot I was supposed to empty out the dishwasher and stuff first. So I gotta do that now. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. These are gonna be interesting. These are both curry dishes. One's chicken and one is lamb, but I'm not going to be using lamb. Mainly because I just couldn't find any. Hey Greg, welcome in. Hello. Oh, boobs. Okay. Yeah, I know. Those things are unfortunately going to happen sometimes. Too much more to do. It'll only take a couple minutes. It's good seeing everybody again. We've just decided to skip the whole process of spring turning into summer here. And we went straight for July. Because it's not doing as usual. We typically don't see 90 degrees until July, but I think we already saw it I think we saw it in February for a couple of days. If I remember right. Now it's just like every day. We'll be ready in just a few minutes. We're going to be careful how much time we spend in here today. Because, like, right now, where there's just passive light on my sink, the stuff that's sitting in the sink, it's hard to touch it because it's so hot. My fingers are a little sensitive to it, but still. why I try to keep the blinds closed all over the house. Next, dishwasher. Oh, I ain't even started yet. Gotta run it twice anyway, right? Okay. I think we're about ready. Grab a couple of things and get started. Today, mostly going to be using our Dutch oven. These are both curry recipes. I'll fix some sides or something to go with them. These recipes were a little bit vague. So considering a lot of them are based on Indian dishes, I'm going to follow the Indian procedures for those where there's questionable spots. That way we'll probably get it right. It's usually a fairly good bet. Fine, where is the rest of my jasmine rice? Actually, no, we're going to use basmati. Basmati rice would be more appropriate. We'll use that. Hey, Dio, welcome in. I will grab a drink, put my hair up, and we'll get started. Using some different music today. We'll see how it goes. See it playing at least. I gotta remember how to stream, right? Okay. Let's pop over here. I think we'll start with the chicken recipe today. So this one is going to be a South African Durban chicken recipe. So both of these are going to be South African. For this one, we're going to have not a ton of ingredients. It is still an Indian-based one, so there's going to be a good bit of Indian-style spices here. So let's go see what we can find. So first off, we need 2 tablespoons of curry powder. I started taking all the little bags of spices that I had that were just like folded over with rubber bands and things on them and putting them into jars. So we'll use the extra first before we go empty out the jars. We need 2 tablespoons. Okie dokie. And that is correct. You're using the actual curry powder that you would buy at a grocery store. There's half. 1. Half. 2. So this is a little bit of a shortcut as far as this recipe is concerned, but they're adding in a little bit more. So what we need next is a teaspoon of cumin. They do mean ground cumin in this case. This is going to be for a dry rub. We're going to kind of just coat our chicken in this. There's 1. We need a teaspoon of cinnamon. We don't use this a whole lot. Usually I have to grind it. This is going to add, believe it or not, to a lot of your curries, cinnamon is an interesting addition. It belongs there. Now we need a teaspoon of ginger. Now I don't have any ground stuff. Oh wait, I do. But it can't be good after all. So throw that in. I had to buy the expensive stuff today because they didn't have anything else. This is so much ginger I will never use. I've still got 2 more that size. Ugh. I might have to just peel it, grind it up, and put it in the freezer or something today. So we'll get a teaspoon of that here in a minute. Next up is, oh, my apologies. This is for the dry rub. Oops. I need the live ginger too, but I forgot the dry rubs here too. So we got ginger powder as well. need 1 teaspoon of turmeric, which is already in that curry powder. We're just adding more. It's a lot of spices. We need some salt and pepper. There's our first 6. Let me get the salt. I've gotten even less tolerant of salt lately, so I'm gonna have to be careful about how much I use here. It says to use coarse salt for this, but I don't see how that's gonna work very well. This is supposed to be the dry rub. So I'm going to put about 1/4 of a teaspoon in there. I'm not going to use as much. Now for our curry, we need onions. Now it's calling for 2 onions. I did not want to spend $4 more on onions today, so we're just going to use one really fat one. These are purple onions. This is that type of curry. It's 2 cloves of garlic, but yeah, we're gonna use about that much. That's more than 2 cloves by far. We need a 28-ounce can of tomatoes. So we've got that here. This is that chunky can you usually find in the grocery store. We need a couple cups of water, which is fine. We need a 1/4 cup of vinegar. It doesn't say what kind of vinegar. For these recipes, your wine vinegars are generally more mild. Your white vinegar is the harshest. I think I'm going to go in the middle on this one and use cider vinegar. Not quite as harsh. Adds a little bit of flavor to it, and there's a reason for this one. Because we are going to be adding some fruit to this as well. That's the weird thing that you're not going to be used to. There are some sweet ingredients to this one today. From a lot of the standard curry recipes that I've done in the past, these are almost usually all identical in one or two ways, and this is what sets these a little bit differently. Let's see, we need 4 bay leaves, which they mean the small ones, so we'll use 2 of the large ones. And then here comes your surprise ingredient. Apricot. This is the odd thing right here. We're going to be putting fruit in a spicy curry. You'll also note that there is no spicy here, other than what's in that curry powder. There's no hot stuff. I'm going to add a little bit though, not much. By a little bit, I really mean a little bit, because it's not going to have the right taste to it if I don't have a little bit. I'm just going to use a mild chili powder, and we're only going to use about 1/4 of a teaspoon, a little bit more than 1/4. There we go. bit of mild flavor. And that asks for 3 tablespoons of that jam. I'm just going to leave that in the jar instead of messing up another bowl. We'll just get that directly. Now we need our bay leaves and our chicken. I want you to know that this one is going to be fairly easy, even more easy than usual. You'll note that there's not a whole lot of stuff that we have to do prep work for. Nor is there a whole lot here to make a mess. You have just your ingredients for prep here. I'm going to add a little bit of live ginger to it. We're going to cut up our onion into rings and our garlic here and our canned tomatoes. There is no really heavy chopping or anything to do. So this could very easily be a recipe for you to do on a weeknight when you're in a hurry. I will also note that you can almost frequently use a can of tomatoes like this instead of chopping up a lot of tomatoes if you really don't have time. There's nothing wrong with it. Just remember that those cans of tomatoes have salt in them, and you don't want to add too much, so you have to balance it out. Now we need our chicken, of course, and that should be about it. I'm going to use thighs for this. It was intended for this one to be used with thighs. Now for a little bit of prep work. I'll bring our chicken out when we're ready to do our pictures. I'm just going to take a spoon here to this ginger and just use the side of it like this. On one thumb. It's a little easier to maneuver with this spoon too, if you're doing it this way. There's that ginger smell, nice and strong. Yeah. Now with our ginger here, we're going to add just a little bit. We're not going to use a whole lot. And you can use jarred or already pre-crushed. That's fine. I think that's enough right there. We just need a little bit. I'm going to chop this up fairly fine today. Seems to be a little bit dry. Which is probably fine. I may not use all of that. I don't want to overpower it. A lot of people have more of an affinity to ginger than they do garlic, and vice versa. I am one that is more have an affinity to garlic instead of ginger. So ginger tastes a little bit bitter to me. That's one of the few things So let's go ahead and get our chicken out and get our picture done. I know that I have been very, very lax about getting those recipes done, and I intend to actually do a partial stream, part of my stream time on Monday, working on these if I don't get them done tomorrow. I am trying to get them done quickly. Let's see, where is my other knife? There we go. I'll set this over here on the side. Now, the first part of the process is to dry rub coat our chicken. We are going to do that. We're going to need a bigger bowl. But let's get our picture. I'm going to post this in Discord. If anybody's interested in joining in the Discord to get the recipes, we have a good community, but it's also fairly quiet, so you won't get a lot of pings. Just when we're doing shows and when we do community things. All right, here we go. Now let me grab a drink here. Okay. Are we ready to go? I think we are. So first up, let's get our chicken cleaned and the fat removed as much as possible. And I'm going to go ahead and use my good knife. I'll just have to wash it. My other knives need to be sharpened, and we can't wait too much longer. We've been waiting like 8 months because I got these 2 or 3 really good knives, and then I didn't need to sharpen them forever, so I just let the other ones sit, which is not good. I shouldn't do that. Over the next several months, I'm probably going to be spending more time doing repairs and doing things that I need to do because stuff's been sitting too long. I looked at the date on the sink box. I was supposed to install a new sink in my bathroom, and the date on that box, it's been sitting there for 4 years. So I kind of need to do these things. I have been waiting too long. Oh, we're back. I didn't even know there was a commercial. Oh wait, we're not back. Ah, we got a commercial coming. I gotta pay attention to these things a little more. And there's 2. I actually didn't look to see how much this is, but I think this is about 1.5 pounds or 2 pounds of chicken. I am trimming off all the excess fat and skin. We don't want that for this. This is a curry. We definitely don't want this chicken to be wet. So we're gonna have to pat it down here in a minute with a paper towel. Because if this chicken is wet, then our spices are probably gonna get diluted and not stick to it very well. It's a really strung out piece. I think we'll just take that bit off. All right, we do have a commercial. I'll still be prepping the chicken. I'll wait for y'all to get back. Sorry about the commercials. See you in a minute. I don't know how effective it is for them to even run commercials. I guess for them it is, but for us it's not. Alright, I'm going to stretch these out. Like this. And get a paper towel. I wish it would just tell me how long I've got on the commercials. It stopped. I thought it was about 3 hours. Let me see. Oh, I hate it when it does that. If someone can tell me when the commercials are over, that'd be good. Huh. All right, I will wait just a minute. Because we are at that point where I need to start doing this. You don't see a commercial? It was telling me that you had one. Okay then. I'll go ahead and continue. So, all of our dry ingredients here right now, we're going to make this into a dry rub for this chicken. Now what I'm going to do, instead of just coating the whole chicken the way that it is, I'm going to mix all the dry rub components first and then cut the chicken into our bite-sized pieces so that we get the sides covered a little better instead of just covering it up and, you know, on the outer skin. The original recipe did have them doing that and I didn't like it, so we're going to put in our pepper, our salt, our turmeric, our ginger powder, our little bit of chili, our cinnamon, cumin, and our base curry powder. All at once. The best way I found to do this is generally to use small whisk. Tends to work fairly well. At the same time, a fork will work just as well too. This may look like a lot, but look how much chicken we have. It's probably not. It's going to coat it fairly well though. Alright, that is pretty good. Let me get a bigger bowl. Get our old standby here with a big wide lip on it. We still need to cut up our onions and our garlic here, but I'm gonna cut up our chicken first. You want to cut it into bite-sized pieces which are suitable for you. Generally about 1 inch is the typical. Ooh, ran into a tendon. Thought that felt kind of tough. Don't want that in there. What? I'm using the wrong knife for this. This looks like it's going to be a good mix today. All right. This anymore? I'll wash these down in just a few minutes. Right now, we need to get our dry rub in before I start washing hands and getting paranoid. All right, so I'm just going to kind of gently sprinkle it on the top here. Start mixing it. Add a little more. Or what I said about it looking like it wasn't enough, I was absolutely wrong. It's more than enough. Might even be too much. We're going to get this chicken pretty well coated here. I'm just going to go on and use it. You already made it. It's either use it or throw it in the trash. We'll mix it in with it'll mix in with our tomatoes and such too. Okay, so there we go. A little on the dry side. All right, let me wash up real quick. Good. The second that stuff gets wet, it turns bright yellow. Right. Now we got to get our other things ready, our onions and such. We have to get a new door. I don't have time to scrub that other one. Used our bamboo one much, so we'll use that one. Towel. Where's my towel? Okay. doing all right. How are you doing? We are in the process of making curry right now. It's a South African curry. All of these red onions today looked terrible, to be honest. Grocery store did not do a good job. They're all damaged. Tired of working with screaming 4-year-old? Oh boy, that's fun. I remember that. No, thank you. I did my time. Alright, there we go. Now, they do not want you to chop it up for this one. This is not something that we chop them up. We want to slice our onions here into rings. We want rings. Basically a preschool, yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. We're not cutting these real thin either. We're going to cut them about 1/4 inch thick. I got to resist the urge to cut them in half and everything else. Don't want to do that. Not this one. Been doing. This is my first stream back for a little while. I was on workcation, as we call it, which just translated into work. Let me go visit Boo Boo for a little while. But I still had to work the whole time. But other than that, been doing pretty well, I think. I just gotta watch my fingers here. This onion's getting slippery. You know what? Those can be thicker. I don't care. Getting into VR chat more lately. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. People that actually use that for dancing and such, I admire them a little bit for doing it. It's a lot of work. I'm not really built for that. I've had incidents before. Like I was told, you know, just copy what everybody else is doing, you'll be fine. Yeah. I ended up punching a lady by accident. DRC, yeah. I've been thinking about doing a few things myself. Not that, but making some making some commercials and things, pseudo commercials, running jokes. These are gonna be thick. Just breaking them into rings and slices. questioning this, but I'm gonna do it per the instructions. I am taking out the hard cores. Photography? Yeah, that I've been doing some of. When I was doing the team stuff too, we were filming some videos here and there. It's been a while. I'd like to do that again, but I gotta have a reason. It really said to use 2 of these onions. I really don't see how that would work. Unless this was just like straight up onion curry. Wow. Take out the cores again. I am supposed to be, you know, you would be frying your chicken while you were cutting this up, obviously. But I'm doing them in 2 stages so that everybody can see what we're doing. Now our garlic here, this is elephant garlic. Some of the server, that's fine. As long as there's space for it, you're welcome to do so. I haven't been posting a whole lot because I've been out of town. That's fine. All right, this garlic's still a little on the green side. That's good. Now, even with this as large as it is, I'm still going to cut it down a little bit and smash it while I'm chopping it. We want to get the flavor and the oils moving. I'm starting to prefer this Chinese cleaver more for a lot of things. It seems to be easier to use. Oh God, it's so irritating my eyes. It has been a little while, hasn't it? Okay. We'll go back to our cup here. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook our chicken first and then pull it back out. Then we're going to cook our sauce and our onions and our garlic and then start making our sauce and then put the chicken back in. So that's how this is going to work today. I'm going to mix the garlic in with the ginger here. This is a little more ginger than what they called for. Okay. Bamboozle did that. Okay. I'll be lurking in gaming. Okay. It's good to see you. Oh, hydrant now. Well, that's exactly what I was reaching for. Now, we're going to need 3 tablespoons of our apricots. That's going to go into our sauce. A little more here. So we're going to bring our chicken over, and I'm going to start it. Since it takes a few minutes to get our Dutch oven warmed up, even though I have the new burners, it's still going to take a little while. I'll go ahead and start that now while we're getting the rest of this ready. All right, so one other thing, the recommendation for sides on this one are actually sambal and tomato cucumber salad, as well as sliced bananas. So just a note side for you. Sambal, as a reminder, is usually a ground chili. It's usually just fresh red chilies, which are ground up and soaked in vinegar. Very spicy stuff. So this is a two-stage cook, and it's a really easy one. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this so we can and get started. See how much of a low mess this one is today too. This is not a big mess operation. I'm gonna pull the camera over. There we go. These easy recipes are very good to have copies of. Just saying. This type of a recipe right here, you can modify this one any way you want pretty easily. Second one today, I'm going to use fresh tomatoes and potatoes. Tomato paste. It's got a little bit more to it. I'm learning to cook on a little hotter temperature and do it a little faster. So we're going to try and do that today too. I'm watching documentaries. Oh, there's my towel. I have to pull another one. Now with this one, you are going to want rice. I'll start the rice when the second recipe starts, because the rice takes about 30-40 minutes at most. And we want it to be ready when we're done, not ready 2 hours ahead of time. Alright, let me rinse this off. Of course, you can always do some mixing too. If you got a few extra tomatoes laying around you want to use up, you can dump them right in there. Did the music stop again? Why does it do that? Oh, hold on. I'll start a new one. There we go. All right. As the instructions say, if you do join into Discord, just let us know you're there and hang on. Don't get antsy. We will get you as soon as we can. It doesn't generally take long, but you know, if I'm streaming or something, it may take a couple of hours. But I need to make sure that we don't have anybody trying to do anything malicious, no bots. And to be honest, I don't really know how to do the setup box correctly anyway. Looks like our oil's starting to smoke, so we're right at it. we go. Put the ball, that little bit of oil real quick. I'm going to give it a little more. Wow. Okay. I guess it'll be a couple of tablespoons today. It does, but I don't want it scorching those dry spices into the pan either, so I gotta keep an eye on this one. We're gonna have to keep it moving. We might have to white wine this one a little bit. I'm strongly thinking we're gonna have to. I've already put like 2 tablespoons of oil in here and it looks dry as a bone. I'm gonna have to delay it. Now, along with this, we're gonna be adding some water as well. I need to not forget that, so we're gonna go ahead and get that ready. Yes, do note that we are not adding any broth to anything today. Also making this a little different. Usually we have to add beef broth or chicken broth. Or veggie broth. The tasty good? Yeah. I did turn the heat down a little bit. Now we're looking pretty good. Now it's starting to moisten up a little. Might be a good time to add a little bit of wine to it. Yep, it was. Okay, good. And now it's just a little bit more saucy. I think that's perfect. That's what we want. We want it to be a little saucy. This is a wet curry, not dry one. I'm gonna have to turn right around and watch this pot and use it again because we got to use it for the other one too today. Today is gonna be a low mess but high move run. For this one, it's just as simple as cook the chicken first, take it out, cook the onions and the garlic, add all the sauce back in, put the chicken back in. Not that hard. Very easy. Our second recipe is actually it's called tomato bready, broody. I'm not sure which. It's Cape Town stew. I don't have 3 pounds of lamb for this one. I don't even have 3 pounds of stew meat for this one. I only have about 1.5 pounds, so we're gonna end up with more sauce than we do meat. Which is fine because we'll just add more rice, right? It has a wonderful smell to it. There's a very strong cinnamon curry smell to this one. Don't start gunking up on me. I think we need a couple more minutes on the chicken here. Doesn't really say how long. You just need to cook it until the chicken's 90% finished or finished. Then we've got to take our onions and put them in there and saute those until they're soft so we can mix in all the good leftover stuff in the bottom of the pan pot there for that. I'm not going to try to fish stuff out with a spoon. I'm just going to get a ladle. That chicken is very much looking like it's almost done, so maybe we'll only got a minute or two. Doesn't really look like this one's going to take all that long to make either. The onions in this case was definitely a. I should have pulled out the slicer for that. Evangeline. I knew I'd get it eventually. All right, let's go ahead and get our chicken out. Get our onions in here. Let them get coated up with all the good bits that are left over. This part will actually take longer than the chicken will. We got to cook these onions down until they get nice and soft. And this is purple onion. It's not going to be quite as bitter as your yellows will. Looks like for the most part, the glazing worked correctly. There's a little bit here and there. Whoops. Come here, you. Come here, you. No escapees today. Ba-ba-ba-ba. These we can probably turn the heat up for. I'm going to bring it up to about 6.5. they're newer burners, it'll heat up quicker. There we go. You can see they're starting to lose their color a little bit. Some of them are already softening up pretty well. I might leave them a little bit, some of them a little bit more firm. Get a little crunch in it. It's up to you how you want to do it. For the most part, these have softened up now. You can see how they're starting to be a little stringy. I think it's time to go ahead and start making our sauce. Oh, I forgot to add garlic. Oops. My bad. Alright. There are our tomatoes. And our water. As well as bay leaves. And our acid from our vinegar. Alright, we'll turn the heat up to mostly high here and let it get up to a simmer before we put our chicken back in. Hey T-Pain, welcome in. Yeah, there's a lot of smell for this one today. It's pretty strong. How are you doing? Welcome in. Oh, before I forget, we need to add our apricot preserves. That is correct. I did say apricot preserves. For those of you that have just come in. That changed the smell almost instantly. Wow. I don't cook with apricot very much. Hey Shin, welcome in. Hello. We are working on something called a Durban chicken curry. This is a South African recipe. I'm in the kind of middle towards the end of this one. Then we're also going to make a tomato bready after this, which is kind of a beef curry with potatoes. I'm trying to keep the mess to a minimum today. We're going to use one pot for the whole thing. How have you been doing? Oh, you do love curry? South African cuisine. It's a strong mix of European and Indian influences, considering. They bring the music down a little bit. It's gotten a little louder. To be honest, this one's been a really easy one. I haven't had to do a whole lot of prep work for it. Just slicing up a couple of onions and garlic and some ginger. Everything else was either a can of tomatoes or all powder mixed and prepping chicken. So it didn't take very long. This is a fairly easy one. Right now I'm just trying to get this up to kind of a low boil simmer so that I can get the sauce moving and we get the chicken in there. This one, to be honest, this one is looking more of a 50-50 mix than I've ever seen before. A lot of the Indian curries are either a little bit of tomato and a whole lot of onion, or a little bit of onion and a whole lot of tomato. This one's about a 50-50 mix. Been doing well considering. Oh, I hope everything's okay. I just got back from kind of a work vacation, so this is the first cooking stream I've done since I got back. So I gotta build back a little bit, right? But I'm also trying to do some improvements. Oh, we got a simmer going. There's definitely a smell of sugar coming from this now. But it's starting to fade a little. It's a mixture of kind of sugar and hot curry. Adult life things on my end, yeah. You say embrace the grind. Been doing it for too long. I want a break. You'd like to try this one? This is a weird mix, isn't it? It's a very strange mix of flavors. Apricot, tomato, onion, and spicy. It is interesting. I actually still had a jar of these apricot preserves in the fridge from the last time I tried to do I believe it was called sausages. When I tried one other set of recipes, it was still in the fridge and it had been expired for nearly a year. Oops. I had to pull that one out. No, the apricot flavor is there, but it's not like the main focus. I don't know how else to explain it because I'm the only one that's eaten some of these things. The bunny chow was also one that I did last time, which was kind of a similar curry. It was a chicken curry as well. That was the one that I stuffed into the bread bowl. Yeah, it's a background. It's a background flavor, but it's also like noticeable. It's not one of those things where you have to think about it. You can still smell it. You can still taste it. All right, we've got a good simmer going here. I've got the temperature down a little bit. We're going to go ahead and bring our curry chicken back in with its cinnamon and all of its hot stuff. There's no cooking time listed on this one. And instantly it changes color. Look at that. Based on experience, I'm going to say this one needs to simmer for about 20 to 30 minutes. Let me see. Oh my God, they did put a time on here and they put it on the second page. Oh boy. Okay, so this one has to simmer for, you ready for this? 85 minutes. Okay. Yes, we're gonna work on the next one now, huh? And we're gonna use the other pot. So much for that one pot run today, right? Okay, well, that one's gonna sit simmer and we'll just work on the next one. You know I will. Okay. We've got some bright sun today. It's coming through the blinds even. Okay, our tomato ready. I don't know if it's ready or broody or what. I just set a timer for 75 minutes because it's been simmering for a while. We'll let that go and then we'll work on this one. I think this one was about 45 minutes to 50 minutes. So we got about a pound and a half of tomatoes here. We've got another onion. We've got our ginger, and this time we have potatoes. So this one's more of a stew. Again, we have our apricot. This does have apricot in it. That's why I chose two of these, was so that we could use up the apricot. This one does have a good bit more ingredients to it, so we're going to go ahead and start bringing those up. We need 2 teaspoons of crushed garlic. I'm going to qualify that as 1 clove. One of these cloves. That should be about 2 teaspoons, right? Apricot day. I try to pick them so that I don't, so that I can reuse the similar ingredients as well as not waste anything. Today's total bill, including the meats, was I believe $55 or $60. So it's not a bad run when you pick them out like that. $55, $60 for for 4 meals each. Where do I get my garlic? Actually, I got this at Walmart. You just got to know where to look for it. Hey, Greg, doing the booping. That's all right. I'm guilty of it too. No, they have elephant garlic, but you need to not look where they have the garlic in the bins. You need to look at the ends on the little shelves underneath. It says I've got an ad break running. What? Okay. So 2 teaspoons of crushed garlic, 1 teaspoon of chili flakes, but that is optional. We all know what happens when they tell me it's optional and chili flakes. Triple it. I don't triple it. I do follow the recipe though, because sometimes you get a little surprise that you don't want. You're back. Welcome back. Ginger. Love the smell of ginger. Ginger's the thing I'm sensitive to. Other people are sensitive to various different things, but that happens to be mine. I'm turning the heat down on this stew a little bit here. It was boiling fairly strong. All right. So we need a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of chili flakes. That's all optional. Now, as far as the teaspoon of salt goes, I am not going to use a teaspoon of salt. You all can, but for me, that's a no-no. What I can do is use a little bit of salt, like a 1/4 teaspoon or so. And a 1/4 teaspoon of magic powder. Can you not get carrots? I'm sorry. I really wish I could cut them off. By magic powder, I don't mean anything illicit. I just mean MSG. Because that is makeshift good powder. Alright. We need tomato paste for this one. I very strongly recommend you get the smallest cans possible, because unless you're going to make multiple recipes with this stuff in the next few hours, you're going to end up throwing most of it away. So get the little tiny cans. Sick of car ads? Yeah, I don't blame you. I literally have gone through my menus playing with it to try and figure out how to get the least possible. The only thing I can think of to do, I've added the command called ads. I can execute it. One of my mods can execute it. But if we run it, it goes for 3 minutes. But it eliminates them for over an hour. So if you all want me to do that, I can. But I don't. It just ran ads, so it may be another hour. It's mostly to stop pre-rolls.
Emotional damage.
And here I am thinking about another car, and I shouldn't be. Okay. We got our tomato paste. We do need some sugar for this one. This one is going to require sugar. And when I checked on these, a lot of them do in fact want white sugar. They just want plain white sugar. In this case, it's a tablespoon. I'm I'm not going to use that much. I'm going to use about half that much. Oops. God damn it. I just lost a bunch of skewers because they decided to fall out when I got the sugar out. I'm not going to necessarily retire the Fusion, but the fact is that, and you know as well as I do, that carb food needed. Yeah. You know as well as I do that I only drive about 12 miles a day total, and the solar charging on the one I was looking at is about 1 kilowatt. I only use about 2 kilowatts a day. So I could literally just leave it in the sun charging most of the time and not use any shore power or gas. Which really is the kind of ideal situation you want. Yeah, I'm still thinking about it. But with all these insurance prices, I don't know. I'm going to use a little bit, about 3/4 of a tablespoon. I'm not going to use a whole tablespoon. Crap. I lost about half a pack of skewers. Oh well. It's not like my luck is real good anyway. Okay. We only need 4 whole black peppercorns for this one. I thought that was kind of an odd count for this. I'm going to put a hair more since I'm using a little less sugar and a little less salt. We need cinnamon stick and 5 cloves. For you, yeah, not a bad idea. Going to test wrap some. Yeah, I didn't think about it. I was so busy. You know, we were both so busy working that we barely had time to do what we did. I basically got caught up to the point where I could start doing other things right at the end when I was leaving. Oh, that's such a pain, isn't it, though? I hate that. Cloves. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong place. One thing I do recommend for everybody, I know it's a bit more of a pain, but if you are going to get, it asks for about 5 cloves. Cloves are very strong. I'm just going to use 5. If you're going to use whole spices like this, don't buy them in these little jars. I have these little jars because I bought them this way originally, but the way you really want to do it is to go to like an Asian store or some store that isn't a major grocery chain, try to find the big bags of things and just buy whole spices. They'll last longer, and as long as you can grind them up, the grind is better and they'll taste fresh longer. It's funny. The guy at the I don't want to say Indian store because it's not an Indian store. It's actually a Nepali store. But the guy at the Indian store, as it were, actually told me a couple of times, he's like, no, you don't buy the powder. Come here. And he made me go back and get the big bags of the whole spices instead, and told me to just grind those instead and keep them. And he just charged me the same price for both. He knows that I do this. He knows that I do these recipes, and he doesn't see too many people that actually go through the trouble like I am. Okay, we need a cinnamon stick and some cardamom pods. So that is something you're not going to see very often. I see you there, T-Pain. Just a sec. Cardamom and cloves. Let's see. Where did the cloves go? Oh, I've got some here. One open. Only got a small bag up to the left, so I gotta find them. You know what? I'll just grab the other bag. But see, I'll tell you, this is an example of what I'm talking about. If you buy them in the grocery store, they're in those little boxes. Hey Normie, welcome in. What are we cooking today? Winging a sweetbread recipe. I'm working on a tomato bready from South Africa. This is kind of a beef curry. The chicken Durban curry is simmering right now. We've still got about 60 minutes left on it. But this is what I was talking about. You see this? This is the bag I bought for like $4 of cinnamon. You see how much is in that? This is about half a pound. So if you buy cinnamon, this is one of those items right there. If you buy cinnamon in the grocery store, there's going to be like 4 or 5 sticks in there, and they're going to charge you $4 and change. This, I think, was $4, and there's like 10 times as much. So this is the way you buy it. You buy it from stores like this. You find the good things. It'll save you a lot in the long run. Especially if you want to cook for yourself. And these are better quality too. I mean, look at these. So I'm just going to stick that in there. Bear in mind, this is also like one of these companies. Need to stop by the local stores. Yeah, exactly. This is one of those companies that's from India, so they're making these things based on recipes from India. So you're getting the correct amounts. All right. While we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead now and start up our basmati rice. So I'm just using the store brand basmati. It's perfectly fine. It's easy to use it. I'm going to make about 2 cups. We'll have this for both of these recipes. I am going to use the rice cooker for this. Yes, you can do it on the stove top, but this Aroma rice cooker that I bought, which holds, I think it's 10 cups. Yeah, it's way easier. It does it right every time, and you just can set it off to the side and let it run, and it only costs like $40. I've had no problems with this whatsoever. It's funny too because Boo Boo had to convince me. It's kitchen gadgets. But this is something that can be used for more than one thing. Alright. We're going to set that in and let it run. That's it. You're done. The rice is running. Alright. Hey, Bun. How we doing? Oh, pouncing too. Oh my gosh. You're not hungry? After rolling it out, should I roll it or fold it? Okay. Do not ask me about baking. I'm going to be the first one to admit that baking is not my thing. I would probably say that you do what you normally do, which is what works for you. I probably would end up folding it myself. All right, let me mix up our other curry here for a minute. All right, it's boiling down. Next up, cardamom pods and cumin seeds. Now, cardamom pods, it did say what kind. And you of course are asking me now, what do you mean? Well, here's the thing. We have never made something like this before, and you're not following a recipe? Oh boy. Oh boy. You're baking in no man's land. I don't know, unless somebody else is a baker in here that wants to answer. I cannot help you with that. I am so bad at bread. It either explodes or it never rises. It literally hates me. I buy canned bread so that I can use it for recipes. I'm not kidding. Okay, cardamoms. We have green cardamom pods, and we have black cardamom pods. It doesn't say which one. It does not say at all which one. So, I honestly don't know the difference in flavor either. I'm going to use the black ones. These are a little bigger. This is a fairly big recipe. Let's hope that works. I'm guessing too, Normie. Alright. Cumin seeds. We need a teaspoon of cumin seed. Cumin seed is one of my favorite things. I love using cumin seed, especially for meat dishes. I like it when you can even see them in what you're eating. We need about a teaspoon of these. These are those little black and white, gray striped ones. You've probably seen them hundreds of times in food. I love using them. Coriander seed. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Wait, what? Ah. Guess what I don't have? Thinking you're going to roll it, then go for it. All right, we will use a half teaspoon of coriander powder instead. I'm just going to have to set that one over. We got our pound of tomatoes, we got our potatoes, and then vegetable oil and water and our stewing lamb. That is it. That's a lot of spices. For this one, we're going to have to do a little bit more of an Indian curry process. This one, we need to take our whole spices, our cinnamon stick here, which I'm going to have to break up, and our clove seeds, and our peppercorns, and our cumin seed, and our cardamom pods. And we're going to have to dry roast those a little bit until they have some, until they become aromatic. Then, after we do that, we're going to take them off the heat and then grind them up. I haven't had to do this in a little while, so this will be fun. There's nothing in the instructions about it. Now, this is supposed to be a lamb recipe. The thing about it is, there wasn't any lamb today, so I had to use stew beef for this one. It's the same thing essentially, but it will have a little bit different flavor. So we're going to make this with beef. I don't normally do this, but you know, we'll do it. There's so many spices in this one, right? I seem to remember there was mustard seed in this one. Let me check. Huh. I think I'm mixing two recipes together. I was going to add mustard seed to this one as well. This is a very common thing in Indian dishes. I use it all the time, but apparently I don't need it today. They don't use it in this particular type. Okay. So we are ready to go with this one. I am going to get a picture of this, and then we are going to go ahead and do our first stage, which is to chop up all of our ingredients over here. Then we'll dry roast our dry whole spices and grind them. Then we'll mix everything up into our masala and start making our beef. So one thing at a time. This is going to take a little while, which is fine because apparently we still have quite a bit of time left. I'm going to get a picture. We'll post it in Discord. Anybody that wants to join Discord is welcome to do so. There's a permalink under the stream. If it isn't working, let me know. When you come in, bear in mind it'll take us a little while to verify. We just need you to tell us you're there. Heck, where did my drink go? I lost the drink. Where's my glass? It's getting hot in here. Okay. Fine. The music's still running? Yep. Okay. I don't know why YouTube does that. I'm having to use YouTube. I don't really have a whole lot to work with. Yes, I'm here. Just run. You know? So let's go ahead and get started on getting everything cut up. Our beef is already done. We don't have to do anything to this, so we can set this aside. Oh, there it is. So let's take our dry ingredients, put those all in one. The coriander seed should go in there, but we don't have any today, so we're just going to use powder. That little bit of roasting is not going to make too much of a difference. We need to break this up so that it'll cook a little easier. They're not hard to break. It's just bark. Cinnamon is bark off a tree. There you go. Just like that. Let's start working on our veggies and garlic. I want to know how that works out. So I'm going to get the ones that we were using before for our onions and garlic. We've still got about 45 minutes on the other one. This garlic will peel a little easier, this elephant garlic. You can see here that I could just grab it and pull. And for the most part, it just comes right off. It's still a little green, so it's not getting old yet. I'm going to slice this into thirds. And then we're still going to smash it a little bit. Which didn't do very much. We'll chop it up a little and then do it. Oh wait, yeah it did. I can smell it. You see what I was saying about 2 or 3 cloves? That's a lot more than 2 or 3 cloves. See what I mean about the cleaver working out better? You can treat it gently. You'll get the result you want. That is so much more than 3 cloves. So much more. At the same time, elephant garlic, even though it's larger, is not stronger. It's actually a little more mild. So it's okay to use extra. It ain't gonna hurt anything. So there's our garlic. Alright, our garlic's done. Now we're up to our onions here. We're using purple onion for this. It wanted me to use 2 of these onions. 2 of them. That's a ridiculously large amount of onion. And this one is the same thing. We're going to do the same process here. But I'm not going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to cut it in half. And then we're going to finely slice it this way. That other one is simmering for 80 minutes. This one won't simmer for as long. See, that slice is working better. And Normie, I gotta say, you're braver than me if you're doing that. Anytime I try to do a baking thing, I try to follow that to the nose. Because if I don't, it's just gonna fail miserably. I'm not the baker here. There are, however, several in Discord that are good about it, so if you want to ask one of them or you want me to ask, I can. I think now would be not a good time, though. Just saying. Right, I'm going to peel out this beat up outside layer off. This onion's a little better than the other one was. Oh gosh, I gotta sit down for a second. Oh! My back is getting shredded. It's been a little while since I've done this. The rice maker is still heating up and cooking. Okay. This is basmati rice today. We want fine slices as much as possible. It doesn't have to be super thin. Hear that rice boiling. I never noticed that before. Probably because I was too busy working on other stuff. All right, here we go. So there's our onions. We've got a nice fine slice on that. There's no doubt in your mind that that will Well, you gotta try, right? You've gotta try. All right, next up, we got our tomatoes and we've got our ginger and we've got our potatoes here. We still got 37 minutes on the other one. Yeah, there it goes. I'm starting to see the steam coming. So our tomatoes, let me see. Are we supposed to fine chop those or are they just boiling down? Okay, so they're just going to get boiled down. So we're just going to rinse these off and just cut them up and quarter them. We're not going to really spend a lot of time on them. This one again, it's like a 50-50 mix, isn't it? We've got half onion and half tomato. That's about a pound of onion right there too. I'm just going to kind of generally slice them. Take the core out. They'll stew down pretty quick. There we go. Well, I guess if one's going to escape, it can escape into the trash can. That's okay. Not a cog in the machine. I'm here to be a forerunner of the frontier baby. Okay. Hey, I got around researching stuff and giving it a shot. I'm changing stuff today too myself. See how sharp that knife is? It's just, it's not even trying to get through that skin. It's just right through it. Even as soft as these tomatoes are. I may have to start sharpening knives again. This one's new. I think this one was on sale at the time too. Do it. The chicken stew, curry, blah blah blah, whatever you want to call it, is starting to cook down some. I can see it's a little lower in the pot. I am very gently. I'm not pushing on it. I'm just kind of holding the weight back. I don't know how else to describe it. Like I can just sort of push, like draw the blade on its own weight. Yep, that's exactly what this is. One of the guys I watch has got 50 some odd years of experience as a restaurant chef. And that's all he uses. He just uses one of these cleavers. You see how quick I just got through that? Like it was nothing. 31 minutes left. But then we also have to cook this other one. We may have to split the stream today. Alright. Next up is our potatoes. I think these are supposed to be cut into cubes. It just says quartered. I'm not going to do that. Quartered is going to be a mess. I'm going to get my skinner out. Just our general 59-cent one that we bought 20 years ago. I gotta get used to that. I don't know if you all can hear it or not, but there's a pump running. That's watering my plants, which are not growing. I've got herbs that have been about half an inch tall for the last 6 weeks. Actually, it's been about 10 weeks now. I'm about ready to put them outside and just call it good. If they live, they live. This is where I'm going to end up using so many dishes today, right here. I was all set to not have to do that. Then this came along. I'm going to cut these into cubes, bite-sized cubes. Also because it takes longer to cook them if you don't. That's one. At least these potatoes are relatively fresh. You get old ones and it's hard to peel them. Considering my local grocery store's performance record recently, that's entirely possible. I'm cutting them about an inch thick, a little less than that. Oh, dang it. It's so tight it's forming suction. This was the prep monster today. Tyndall! Hello! Welcome in, Raiders. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Dio. How are you all doing today? Welcome in. Welcome in. How you doing? Hello. I hope you got some more winners for your giveaway. I think I just technically raided into myself. It's a raidception. 4 winners today. Nice. Hey, Baggy. You've been in here before. What is this first time chat junk? Welcome in. How you doing, everybody? Your ankles hurt? Yeah. Yeah, VR streams will eat up your ankles like crazy. Your ankles and your knees and your calves as well. Depends on how much you do. We're in the process of doing our second recipe today. This is our, what is it called? Tomato gravy. This is a South African recipe. I didn't realize when I started cooking, because originally when I looked at it, the recipe didn't say anything about cooking time on the other one. Our chicken dish, which is our Durban chicken, which is a curry, takes 80 minutes to cook. I didn't see that. And it's currently on 24 minutes to spare, so we went ahead and started the second one. Glad to see everybody today. 6 hours. Oh, God. No, thank you. The last time I did one that long, I think it was an Alex stream. Oh, God. That one about tore my knees and my back up. Okay. So there's our potatoes. We got them cut up into bite-sized pieces. Haven't seen you in a long time. That may be why. That may be why it's doing it. In any case, it's great to see you. Glad everybody's here. So glad to see you today. I'm cutting up, I'm peeling some ginger with a spoon over here. I'm glad I was shown this trick. Boo Boo showed me. It works so much easier. So we're cutting up the last little bit here before we get started on this one. Said about an inch of ginger, that's about an inch. Try to check the recipe on this one because this one has an interesting process to it. It's not typical for a curry. So apparently we need to cook our onions first, which is not atypical. Then we add some water. Oh, that has a lot of smell to it. Oh boy. I hope this doesn't overpower it. Time to get dinner started. So there's our ginger. We need to get our tomato open too. We need paste for this one. Looks like we got about 6 minutes left on our rice. What's for dinner tonight on your side? I gotta check the amount on that. It says 1.7 ounces of tomato paste. This can is 6 ounces. That's like a teaspoon. This is what I'm talking about, what I was saying earlier about wasting it. You use this much and then you end up throwing it away. So try to time it so that you're using more of it, or you've got a recipe that you're making like spaghetti or something like that. You can dump it right in there and thicken up your sauce a little bit. It'll taste a little better. It'll work. All right. Guess what? Did I take a picture? I did. Okay, good. I'm getting so tired I forgot whether I made a picture or not. All right, so there's our ginger. I think we've got all of our ingredients here ready. Now our process for this, we got to dry roast our spices here and grind them. It doesn't say to grind them, but if I leave those whole, those are going to end up being crunchy little bits inside of the recipe, and it won't be an even distribution. The flavor will be all over the place. So you don't want to do that. Then we saute our onions, add our ginger and garlic and chili, and then cook our lamb with it. Then simmer it for a little while and add our tomatoes and sugar. It's backwards. This recipe is backwards to what I'm familiar with. So this ought to be interesting today, huh? We've got beef instead of lamb, just for those that are just coming in. And thank you for following Baggy as well. I couldn't get any lamb today. All they had was ground. And $12 shanks, which only cost, which are only half a pound. So $30 for just enough beef, or $30 for enough meat is not good. All right. Uh-oh. I let the chicken sit a little too long. It's starting to stick to the bottom. All right, we can deal with it. All right, we're going to start working on this one. I'll just have to deglaze that pan. We're going to start by doing our dry roast here. I'm going to move over to the stove and you guys can see what we're doing. Games with your feet. All right, so you can see our Durban chicken's back there still simmering pretty strongly. It's been kind of boiling a little bit. I'm going to use a small pan for roasting these spices. I've got the temperature turned down, but I'm going to turn it down a little more. It's been my experience that if you try to roast these spices above about 2.5, you can do it very quickly, but you also can burn them in a millisecond. So you can't respond fast enough to get them out. So I'm going to lower the temperature a little bit, let it cool down, and then we'll go ahead and get that in there. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and tend to this other one. See our chicken here? That looks nice. It's kind of sticking a little bit at the bottom. It's right in the middle. Wait, what? Oh, the rice is ready. Okay. I was going to say, we still got 15 more minutes on that one. All right, so let's start by roasting our dry spices. This is cumin seed, cinnamon, cardamom pods, cloves, and I believe it, and peppercorns. We want to roast these until they become aromatic. We're going to grind this into a powder. You want to do this very slowly because if you don't, you're going to destroy it. I am using a coffee grinder for this. It's a German coffee grinder. Just a little simple one that I bought from Amazon. Last time I used this was when we were making the Chinese 5-spice powder. Cleaning stuff up. Start to smell it a little bit. You want to get it to the point where you can smell it fairly strong, but you got to be able to smell everything. So this is one of those things that you got to really pay attention to. The cinnamon will come out first. A little bit more. Alright, I'm gonna pull these out and put them into the grinder while they're still warm. To get yourself a nice fine powder like this. It's very aromatic. You can definitely smell it. Any big fibers that you find when you're doing this, you want to just toss them. The cardamom pod will generally have some kind of big fibers that come off of them. You want to just pull those out. All right, we've got our masala ready. So next up is our onions. Dishwasher didn't do quite a good job. Quite as good of a job as normal. There's something stuck in here. I got it out. Alright. I should be using our pot for this, but I can't. So I'm going to bring our heat up here. Add a little bit of oil. And we'll start with our onion. Our temperature on our chicken is very low. It's down to about 3, so keep an eye on it when you do that. The next up is our ginger, garlic, and our chili. I'm going to pull those out. You want your oil to be very liquid. It's not quite there yet. It's close. We're going to need a good bit because we got a lot of onion. I was going to do some sides today too, but I don't have time. I intended to not run too late today, but we ended up running late. Somehow, it always happens. Don't forget to fluff up your rice if you're using a rice cooker. This batch boiled up pretty nicely from the looks of it. It's very fluffy. Alright, you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. Our oil is more like water. That's what you want. Alright, we're gonna let those sit for a minute or two and start to soften up. I didn't realize these were gonna take some time today. We're already at almost 2 hours and change, almost 3 hours. Oops. Sometimes I goof it up. I may make very high grade stuff, but I take way too long to cook. I know this, and I know how to move a little faster, but it really doesn't amount to much sometimes. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just making sure that it's good. Make sure it's good, make sure it's right. That's my only concern. I'm turning the heat off on that one. I think that one's as far down as it's going to be. 4 minutes is not going to make much difference. All right, we're going to cook. We're going to add our ginger, garlic, and our chili flake. We're going to let that finish softening up. I think for today we're going to end up having to cook most of this and start letting it simmer. Then we're going to have to pull off our other ones and stop for the day because it's just taking too long. The bread is not a complete failure. Awesome. That's very good to hear. All right, see our onions are starting to soften up pretty well. Let me see where our stage is for this one. Okay, so here's your choice. You can either cook the lamb separately or cook it in the onions. I'm going to throw it in with the onions. This is going to sit simmer for a little while, so it's fine. We're going to try to brown that beef a little bit, and then we're going to add some water and let it simmer. I'm going to bring the heat up just a little bit. Did it rise well? How's the density look? Did it brown okay? Basic pizza crust recipe? Okay. Awesome. I want to see it. Plenty of ways to find me. You know how. All right, let's get our beef turned over. Lamb for those that want lamb. It's not really going to brown the way you normally would brown it like this, but it is getting the flavor of the onion and the hot peppers. I really don't know how I was supposed to put 2 full onions in there. There's no way. Those are literally my two biggest pots. I have one slightly larger made for soup. I'm gonna bring the heat up on this one a little bit. Try and get that cooked a little faster. But at the same time, I'm supposed to, simmer that for 15 minutes and then add the potatoes and then add the tomatoes. It's gonna take at least another hour and a half. So we're gonna have to stop at some point in the near future. Air fryer chicken tenders from scratch. Mine is growing the chicken. Well, I mean, you've already got the chicken in your backyard, so. Or at least it frequently ends up in your backyard anyway. We do want to cook this to the point where it's simmering enough that our meat breaks apart. So we're not really concerned about, browning it like steak. And steal them if they're egg-laying chickens. Yeah. As you can see, the moisture is starting to come out of the meat. Our Durban chicken is a little darker than I expected. I think it's probably because we used a little more spice. Also making it a little hotter. Oh, it's a cup of water, not two, so I'm going to add one. So this is the basis for our stew. We're going to cook our meat down to its little gravy here. Let it run for about 15 minutes like this. Then we got to add our tomatoes and our tomato sauce and everything else. Then add our potatoes, which is, I know, going to take at least 40 more minutes. So I will not run the stream that long so you all can sit and stare at the potatoes, I promise. You just watched your, let's see. I want them to come back so you can pet them. And steal them if they're egg layers? Yeah. Did you at least build the air fryer? Tomato plant snapped. Aw. Okay, will do. I've got a few minutes right now. Let's see. Well, that looks pretty nice. I'd like to see a cut see a cross section too when you get a chance. I know you got to let it cool for now. It's fine. That's got to sit for a little while, I'm sure. You know, I said that this needs to cook for 15 minutes. I did not set a timer for this at all. We want the meat to fall apart on this one. But it isn't going to do it if I do it this way. It says here to add a little wine to it and to keep it moist. And this particular recipe, this is an odd one. Once you cook everything, you're actually supposed to put it in the refrigerator, let it sit overnight, and then serve it after you warm it back up. That's kind of an odd one, isn't it? I love recipes like this. You get to learn all sorts of things. It doesn't say anything about those spices. What am I supposed to add those? I can add them now. It's good. So we're gonna add our masala, our coriander, and our salt. We're gonna let that work its way in. Our salt. There's our coriander. There's our sugar. And there's our masala mix that we just made. I'm also gonna add the tomato paste. I was wondering when it was supposed to go in, and it actually is right now, so we got good timing. I honestly think we probably cooked it a little bit too much. I'm gonna go ahead and move to the next phase. We're gonna add our tomatoes too. Probably where I'm going to have to stop. The potatoes will take a minimum of another 30 to 40 minutes. Our apricot, I believe, needs to be added now, so I'll go ahead and do that. We have just a little bit. Okay. Not much, just a little. Now I had a few other things today, like some corn and a couple other things on the side. I seem to remember there was a couple of traditional side dishes that went with some of these, and honestly, I can't remember what they are right now. I was going to look it up while we were doing it, but we're out of time, and I'm still going to let this sit. So let's go ahead and plate what we've got, because that's got to cook for another 10 minutes. I got the mix wrong today. Let it cool for about an hour. Yeah, that's about what I figured. So we'll come over here and we'll take a look at what we do have. While these recipes are easy, they also take time. Here is at least our chicken Durban curry recipe. We've got a very nice deep red, slightly brown color to it. I'm sure this one will taste wonderful. The other one is going to take at least another hour, I think. So I guess I goofed on that one. In any case, I think we will find somebody else to raid out to. And next week, I will try to pick up a couple other recipes. Now, as I said, probably Monday this week, I'll be doing some of these recipes during a chat session with everybody. I got a lot to do, and I'm a little behind, so we will probably do that. And we'll go over the recipes that we had from a couple weeks ago. Well, I guess it's been about 5 weeks now. But thank you so much for being here, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Shin. Thank you, Dio. Thank you, Normie. I hope that bread comes out great. I want to see it. And I will post it over on my Discord too. I'll credit you for it. But for now, I'm going to head on out, and we are going to probably raid out. But first of all, let's look at our wall of love. Baggy, thank you for refollowing. I don't know what. I'm sure it was just the system. Jindal, Dio, Boo Boo, thank you for helping out with the stream. I know everybody's busy and they have a lot of time. They have a lot of things going on. So anytime you all spend time, thank you. Glitch, thank you. Oh, you sent some cheers. I did not even see that. I am so sorry. What happened? Where? I didn't even see it. Thank you. Oh, well, 5 bits. Thank you so much for the 5 bits. Jindal, thank you so much for the raid. It's good getting back into it. It's going to take me a little while to do it. But I'll be back on and keeping going again. Let me see if there's somebody we can raid right now. Oh, I'm not logged in. Of course I'm not logged in. So many things I gotta do. They require you to log into everything like 10 times to get it done these days. Authenticate this, double encryption that. Ugh. Okay, this is probably not a cooking show, but it's as close to a cooking show as we're gonna get. So we're gonna go say hi to our really good friend Ramia. If I can spell it correctly. You'll probably hop into our VR later. Okay. As for a raid message, if you'd like to make a copy of the message, you're welcome to do so in chat. I think we're just going to go with our default here. I don't think I've ever done anything different. So if you want to copy and paste it, you're welcome to do so. Hang on for the raid. You get a couple extra points here and there. I'm going to work on some new things for the stream here soon. Probably going to work on building a new stream altogether because it's been, oh gosh, 2019 since I've made changes. So we need to do that. Hey, Koopa. Nice to see you. I'm glad you were here. Good friend to have too. In any case, thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. I will see you all as next week. I'll be back Monday. We'll do a few recipes here and there, and then we'll probably continue on with Death Stranding. Hopefully, I can remember the controls this time. It's really hard after a long day at work. All right. Have a great night, everybody. I will see you all later. Bye now.